so crispy that pork crackle is jealous. Crispy. Let's get into it. Today we are cooking the crispiest chicken wings in the original air fryer, the Weber kettle. Now before we do anything, I'd like to thank Weber for sponsoring this video. But they didn't, so I can't. Now, cooking time for this video is 55 minutes, or for those of you who like to use my beer timer, you're looking at a 2-beer cook. Cheers! Subscribe, like, comment. For this recipe, I'm gonna need some wings of the chicken variety. And lucky for me, Mick down at Cuisine Premium Meat always has plenty in stock. As always, we don't know what Mick's done to the chicken, so use protection. So just get them out of the packaging first. Now, I don't want to cook full wings today, so let's separate them. Using a sharp knife, you're just going to find the knuckle in between the drummy and the flatty and just push through. It's not too hard, a little bit of pressure and you'll get straight through that joint. And now removing the tips, and you're going to put them aside. And we're just going to keep going until we finish them all. Now you can buy these already separated, but full wings are actually cheaper than separated wings, and for a little bit of time, it's not hard to do. And that's what we're cooking in today's recipe. And the wing tips can also be cooked if you like eating them as snacks, or you can use them to make your own chicken stock. Some people like to eat the tips as snacks. Yeah, I know, some people are weird. It's like they've never heard of Doritos or something. Now give the wings a dry off with some paper towel. Don't forget to flip them all over and do the other side, because a drier skin will produce a crispier skin. And now to give these wings a traditional seasoning for hot wings, that being SPG or salt, pepper, garlic. Sergeant seasoning on board for action. Enemy acquired, preparing to salt. Enemy advancing, reloading the pepper. They just won't stop, finishing off the garlic. Once the wings are all seasoned, place them on a wire tray and then into the fridge while we get the barbecue ready. And by doing this, this is just going to allow that skin to dry out a little bit more. Today, I'm using a 57cm Weber kettle and I'm pairing it up with a kettle cone, because I want to be cooking indirectly with temps of around 240 degrees Celsius today. Now how I'll do that is by 3/4 filling a chimney starter up with briquettes. And I'll light them up. And once the briquettes are all ashed over, I'll make sure the kettle cone's in the middle of the charcoal grate and I'll dump the lit fuel into it. Carefully place the grill back in. Then I'll pop the lid back on, making sure all the vents are wide open, and we're going to give the grill 10 minutes to warm up. By allowing your grill to warm up before you put your food on it, that means you won't be putting your food on a cold grill. It's like science, but not. The grill is hot and it's time to get these wings in, but not before gloving up. By placing them around the outer part of the cooking grill, this is where they're going to get that high heat from that kettle cone as it's pushed up towards the lid of the kettle and around the outside of the bowl. And we are essentially air frying the chicken at these higher temps. And because we are using an indirect heat source, we avoid fat flare-ups, because none of the fat that renders out can fall in our fire. Now just pop the lid back on and grab a drink. These need 30 minutes of cooking time before we touch them again. If you didn't know, the Weber lid vent creates a hot spot. That's correct. This supposedly superior built barbecuing apparatus has a design flaw. As the oxygen is sucked in through the bowl vents up and around our food, it is then forced back out through this lid vent. So to ensure an even cook, I recommend turning the lid 1/3 of the way every 15 minutes during the cook. Did you know that collagen starts to turn into gelatin when the internal temp of meat starts to reach 71 degrees Celsius? Or for those of you trying to keep up, that'd be 160 degrees Fahrenheit. And as this happens, the meat becomes more juicy and moist. That is smut every day of the week. Now these wings are going to need some sauce. Good old Frank's is my go-to with wings. It has the perfect balance of tanginess and bite. I recommend grabbing yourself a spray bottle and taking off the head, adding a funnel, give the Frank's a good shake up and pouring some of it into the spray bottle. Pop the spray head back on, and this is going to be a lot easier to use when we need it later. We are 30 minutes into the cook and I now want to oil up the wings for the last bit of the cook. Grab some oil, doesn't matter what type, as long as it's in a spray can. Working quickly so we can get the lid back on. Now leave them alone for another 15 minutes. You can use your favourite hot sauce for this part, but if you are using a spray bottle, make sure there's no seeds or chunky bits in the sauce, or you will block up the sprayer. And guess what? No one likes a clogged nozzle. Smut! We have reached the 45-minute mark and that lid has been spun around every 15 minutes to ensure even cooking all around the grill. And the wings have been oiled up more than Hulk Hogan. And they will be reading an internal temp of 74 degrees or more, therefore they can be classed as no-death chicken. And look at that, nice and crispy. We could eat them as they are and they would be super tasty. But we want crispy hot wings so we can drench them in the hot sauce now. Pop the lid back on and we're going to let that hot sauce do its magic. We'll come back in 10 minutes. The wings are ready and we can get them off the heat. I think I'm in love. Look at that skin. I can't wait to dig in. Now just get them all off the heat. Now once again, I'd really like to thank Weber for sponsoring this video. Oh, that's right, they didn't. I did it all myself. Oh. To be able to air fry chicken wings in a barbecue this crispy, now that should be illegal.